Hey guys, I'm Lynnie with Sunflwr Spirit Tarot, and I am back. I'm so sorry to keep you guys waiting for so long. Unfortunately, I will not be doing any zodiac specific videos right now, but I did feel called to do a reading for the Sunflwr Collective. How do you know if you're a part of the Sunflwr Collective? This reading resonates with you. Okay, you feel it in your heart and your spirit that this message was for you. I hope you guys are well. Thanks to those of you who stayed subscribed for sticking it out with me. I promise more content is on the way. I hope you guys have enjoyed your holidays and the new year as you celebrate. I definitely did. Alright, let's get started. What are the messages, predictions, happenings to for from about and around the Sunflwr Collective at this time? And moving forward, what messages do you have? 9 cards, please, Spirit, for the Sunflwr Collective. Let's get it going. And I'm not going to be doing the setup with the 2 cameras because that's just a lot of work. And sometimes we procrastinate on doing things that we know we need to do simply because we think about how much work it's going to take to actually do the thing instead of just simplifying it and doing the thing. You know, I kept telling myself, well, I can make videos when this happens and when that happens, and I have all this set up and all of this is organized, and I'm like, you know what? The messages are the messages, and if I have committed myself to being a channel for the divine, then I can't just keep that channel turned off until everything in my life looks perfect, because who knows when that's going to happen, right? So that might be a message for some of you out there if you've been procrastinating on some of the things that you feel like you've been called to do, even if it's not what some people would consider a divine calling, right? If you feel like it's time for you to get a new job, or it's time for you to move house, or it's time for you to start school again, take the steps that you need to take to get these things done, to get these things happening, because the time is gonna pass anyway. So no matter what you do, the days, the weeks, the months are going to pass. Wouldn't you rather say a year from now that you're so glad that you took the steps to get to where you want to be, because now you're a year closer to your goals, or you've actually accomplished some of those goals? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's quit procrastinating. Let's quit sitting on our hands waiting for everything to align. Sometimes things don't come into alignment until we take the steps that we need to take. Sometimes things are waiting on us to get started. Sometimes things are waiting on us to get going. So don't let the idea of something keep you in this stagnation, because just do it, right? Just do it. All right, let's get to it. Spirit, can you please show me the most important messages, predictions, and happenings to for from about and around the Sunflwr Collective at this time? We have the first card out is the 2 of Pentacles. Some of that kind of hemming and hawing kind of energy, weighing out the pros and cons. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you stagnant, okay? It's a way of you avoiding what you actually have to do. And the Hangman, we got all this waiting kind of energy. What's interesting is, like, what I was just saying is coming out in the cards. I feel like maybe you are someone who likes to think about the things that you have to do, and maybe you think yourself out of the things that you have to do. I feel like you have a lot of great ideas. You've been really inspired. You just haven't taken any action towards these things, or making these things a reality, okay? Next out, we have the 10 of Swords. You're afraid that it won't go well. You're afraid that you're going to put in all this work and time and effort and energy, and nothing is going to come from it. That is going to be fruitless. That you're going to be left holding the bag. And you're going to put yourself out there and say, hey, I'm doing this, right? And nothing comes to pass or comes to fruition, and all of a sudden, all these people are expecting these things from you. We got the 3 of Cups here at the center of the energy, okay? So what you really desire right now is community, connection, friendships, relationships, having more fun, being more connected to the people around you. Maybe you're even avoiding social situations, and you think that that's because you don't want to be social. It's actually the opposite. So for those of you who have been kind of hiding yourselves away, it's actually the opposite. Maybe the people who are inviting you out to do certain things or trying to involve you aren't necessarily the people that you want to spend time with, but don't avoid all social situations simply because the people who invited you aren't necessarily the people you want to spend time with. You could meet somebody at an event. You could meet somebody at the party. You could meet somebody at the bar that you really connect with and want to get close to or have a connection with. Now, I'm not saying to only put yourself in social situations, or even put yourself on social media. Some of y'all want to be content creators and you're just so afraid of being perceived or being seen. You have so many great ideas, so many wonderful things that you could do as far as creating content, and you are just afraid of being rejected. Let me give you the real, okay? People on the internet are assholes. Some of the people on the internet are assholes. Some people can be very mean, very cruel, very judgmental. You're gonna get a lot of feedback, and some of that feedback might be negative. What you don't do is feed the negativity, all right? Highlight the people who are supportive of you. Highlight the people who are coming to you, bringing you loving, positive, healing, happy energy. Don't dwell on the people who are being negative or bringing negativity to your platform and things like that. We got the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles here. Some of y'all might have recently had a really bad breakup and it kind of put you back in your shell. We got the Page of Pentacles just under the Three of Cups. Finishing out the spread, we have the Ace of Wands here. So there are ideas, there's motivation, there's inspiration here, okay? It's just waiting for you to tune in and tap into it. What's funny is when I was doing my, testing my camera out and my lighting and stuff, this card was the card that I pulled off the top of the deck, the Three of Wands, okay? So there is a lot of waiting energy, a lot of watching energy, a lot of energy of not actually taking action. But the Three of Wands, as much as it's a waiting energy, it's also the energy of somebody who's already made a plan. They put their stuff out there into the universe. They've set their intentions. They've loaded the ships and they've put them to sail out, right? This is supposed to be a merchant or something waiting for his ships to return with the profit, right? So this is the energy of someone who has already set their intentions for something, possibly not taking any direct or action that is actually involved in it. Maybe there's something that has to grow, like an investment or something like that. Maybe if you have started a social media or some sort of online platform, it's just going to take a while to get going, but once it gets going, I feel like it's going to be lucrative as well as very, a lot of fun. You're going to feel very passionate about it. Something is very baby, brand new. Y'all could be meeting somebody who reminds you of somebody that you were with in the past, or this idea, something about this idea of the one, but it's not I'm trying to get out of that, you guys. I remember when twin flames were a huge deal, and everybody thought the jerk that they were dealing with was their twin flame, and that's just not the case. And not everybody's going to be your soulmate. Not everybody's going to be, the one. But I'm not even on that anymore. I don't even want to believe in the concept of the one, because I feel like that's so limiting, right? Because there are so many people that you're going to meet in your life and so many relationships that you're going to have. And if you're anything like me, you're going to want these people to stay forever. As soon as I get attached to somebody, it's so difficult for me to let them go, because I want them to stay. I want to love them. I want to take care of them. Even if I know that they're not right for me sometimes. Well, everybody in my past is clearly not right for me, or I've outgrown them in some capacity, right? So we have to remember, they might be the one for you right now, but they might not be the one for you 5 years from now. I guess the goal is to find the person who's always the one, right? But there is no one, is basically what I'm trying to say. Can we finish clarifying this Three of Wands here? We got the High Priestess. It's like you already know what you have to do. You're sitting on it. You have, like I said, once again, you have great ideas, but you're sitting on them. So clarifying, you ain't talking to nobody. You ain't making no moves. Come on. So clarifying the Three of Wands, we got the High Priestess, we have the Fool, and we have the Two of Swords. It's like you're trying to move in silence. You're trying to do stuff, but you don't want anybody to know. Like I said, if you have any kind of platform on social media, or if your project has to do with the public or involved with the community or something that you feel passionately about, involves other people, you're not really talking to the people closest to you about it. So if you have a friend group, or certain family members, you're not really talking to them about what's going on with you or what you want to do. It's kind of like you're moving in silence, but you're not really moving, okay? It's almost like if you tell people, then you have to be accountable to those people for what you're putting out into the world. And what if you get complacent, or what if you get lazy and now all these people are expecting things from you? That is a big deal for you. I'm not going to say you're a people pleaser, but what I will say is that you have a tendency to use that as a way to avoid actually doing the thing. Is what will other people think about it? How are they going to perceive it? And once I get going and get started, what if I stop? What if I get lazy? What if I decide to change directions? And then all of these people are expecting this thing from me. How about you just take your foot off that mental gas pedal, right? And allow yourself some time to actually enjoy the process of whatever it is that you're doing. Because I feel like, especially with this Ace of Wands here, if you don't already feel inspired, whatever this project is that involves the community, your friendships, social media, or whatever this is, it's going to inspire you a lot. You're going to feel very passionately about it. And I feel like when you think about it, you feel like you feel passionately about it. It's just actually putting yourself out there, actually putting in the work that's kind of freaking you out a little bit. And I understand, but the Page of Pentacles is here to remind us to take baby steps, okay? My sister says this thing, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can't consume the whole elephant at once, right? So you have to take little baby steps, little bites. Just keep moving, keep making progress. Even if you feel like you're not making enough progress at the time, as long as you are further along today than you were yesterday, then you're doing it. Consistency really, really pays off. This is something that I have learned personally in my own life about being consistent. Anything I've really dedicated myself to, anything I've decided that I was going to do, any habits that I decided I was going to change, I've taken this idea of going to extremes, right? Or practicing abstinence with a lot of things. And I've created this idea of like, or this mindset of behaving or enjoying or practicing things in moderation, okay? You don't have to be the most perfect person all the time. You don't have to have it all figured out all the time. You don't have to do all the things every single day in order to say that you're doing it, that you're living it, that you're putting your energy and your effort towards it. You can just do it when you have the energy to do it, or do it when you feel called to do it. It's not always about like being 100% invested all the time. You can be 100% invested, but y'all know what I hope y'all know what I mean. It's not about like always being on, okay? Sometimes you're not going to be on. Sometimes you're going to feel unmotivated and undisciplined and all this kind of stuff. But when you see yourself falling back into that pattern, when you see yourself being too lax, when you know you should be working, when you know you should be investing your time in something, when you know you should be putting your energy towards something, then just do it. Say, okay, when I wake up tomorrow, it's going to be a brand new day. I'm going to do all the things that I promised myself I was going to do. We all fall off the wagon. We all do stuff that, you know, holds up our dreams and our visions and stuff like that. And you know what? Something I saw online one day is that God factored in how stupid you are when he gave you your purpose, right? And I don't mean to call you stupid. I don't mean that in an offensive way, but I thought that was really comforting to me. So it's like the divine factored in all of our, you know, faults, all the things that we think are faults within ourselves, all our, you know, characteristics that we don't appreciate about ourselves, when he gave us our purpose, right? When they gave us our purpose, when she gave us a purpose, whatever deity you know, think of as number one, however it goes for you, when they gave you your purpose, they knew you, okay? Because they created you and you were thoughtfully and wonderfully made. I don't even know if that's the right saying, but yeah, just remember that, okay? So don't think like you're not the right person to be doing this, or you don't have the right skill set, or you don't have the right talents. Whatever you don't know, learn it. Whatever you don't feel, then it may not be for you. If you don't feel it in your heart, if it doesn't light you up, that may not be for you. But if you feel like there's this faraway thing that you're reaching towards that really lights your heart up, then move towards it. Stop shying away from it because you feel like it might be too far away for you to grasp. Take the journey. It's not about the destination. We say this all the time. People say this all the time, and you think, well, what do they know, right? They're not trying to do what I'm trying to do. But I promise you, if you just take little steps every day, you will get where you need to be. I didn't think for a second that I would be ready to make videos this early, and today I just decided I'm gonna make a video because I feel it in my heart to make a video, and I love making videos. I love reading tarot. This is what I feel like is a part of my sense of purpose, right? And I'm fulfilling that right now by doing this right now. And every time I make it doesn't matter if I make a video tomorrow. It doesn't matter if I make a video every single day this week. All that matters is that I'm here right now feeling inspired and motivated to do this. Not just for myself, but for you guys, for the people who need to hear the messages, right? Because I'm just a radio. And if you're on my frequency, if you're tuned in, then there's something in here for you. I'm gonna pull some Goddess Power Oracle cards for you guys to see what we get with this. I feel like there's already a message here, but I want to get any kind of additional insights and things like that. Let's see what we got from the Goddess Power deck. And all of you, anyone, doesn't matter what body you're in or what set you claim, okay, you can, you know, identify with goddess power and goddess energy, because we all have divine masculine and feminine energies within all of us. How we exercise those and how we live our life is completely our choice. So yeah, don't be, if you're in a masculine body and you claim to be masculine, tap into that inner goddess when I pull these cards, okay? And see how it relates to whatever message is going to be coming out here. All right, let's see. The first one we have is Ellen of the Ways. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've had this deck for so long and I do so many readings for myself. I have a very close personal connection with this card. Not because the message is super positive, but because it comes up whenever we are too complacent with the way things have been in our lives. Ellen of the Ways in the alignment position, and I'll hold it up just because it's more attractive when it's upright. It looks cuter when it's upright. This card is just about making new connections, you know, traveling new paths, exploring new things, going on new adventures, and not pretending like where we are, who we're with, and the things that we're already doing are fulfilling us, right? Because we do desire more. We do have a hunger for more, and we have got to honor that. You know, desire is the root of all suffering. But what is the point of life if you have no desire? What is the point of life if you have no passion, if you have no sense of purpose, if you have no motivation to fulfill that? And desire always leads to disappointment, or sometimes can lead to disappointment is what I mean to say. Because when you have certain expectations about how this desire is going to be fulfilled in your life. So there are things that you want to do. There are places you want to go. There are people you want to meet. There are things that you want to see. And instead of doing those things or taking steps towards those things, taking steps towards making that a reality in your life right now, it's almost like this energy of, well, I'm happy where I am. I'm content where I am. And gratitude is important, okay? Be happy exactly where you are in the moment that you are in. But don't use that as an excuse not to get what you came for, okay? And there might be some people that you need to leave in the past, or just kind of distance yourself from. There might be some habits or some vices, some addictions that might need to be let go of so that you can reach your highest potential. There's always going to be things that are connecting us with old timelines, okay? And it's not about abstinence, right? It's not about saying, no, those things are bad and I've got to move away from that. It's just about recognizing that the things that you might be taking part in right now, or the people that you might be connected to right now, the places that you go right now, may not continue to be a part of your life once you shift into a higher timeline, or whatever the equivalent of that is for you, okay? There's new stuff calling your name. There's a new adventure for you to go on. The life that you have right now, everything that you have right now, you've done it. You've lived it. You've mastered it. It's time for something new. Do you understand? I'm not telling you to quit your job, okay? I don't know why that just came into my head. I'm not telling you to quit your job. So if you're looking for a reading that's going to, you know, give you confirmation that it's time to quit that job, I'm not saying that, because I'm not going to pay your bills, okay? I'm just letting you know. But what I will say is that if you want to leave where you already are, find a new place to go. Get set up, and then let the old place go. It's just that easy. But you don't have to self-sabotage by making extreme moves, okay? Sometimes I would quit a job just because I woke up that morning and something told me this ain't the one for you. I'd be like, okay, I'm done, you know? And I wouldn't even have a plan. It just so happens that most things work out for me, right? Things work out in my favor, but I have, unfortunately, endured some unnecessary struggles because of my impulsiveness, because I can sometimes be a little impetuous. I want what I want when I want it right now, and if I don't want to be here anymore, I'm not showing up tomorrow. Sometimes I can just be that emotional or that passionate about things, and if you are the same as me, if you feel that way, right, make sure you have something else lined up. Don't put yourself in the position to struggle unnecessarily, okay? But always be looking towards the future. You don't have to be ungrateful for where you are to be excited or feel motivated to take steps towards what you want in the future, okay? We have Kali. She came out in alignment too, so we got 2 alignment cards. So I'm not saying we're out of alignment, because I feel like I'm part of the Sunflwr Collective, even though this message in particular isn't necessarily feeling like it's got my name on it. I will say that even if you're not out of alignment, I do feel like maybe you're not walking. Maybe you're not walking forward on your path. Maybe you're kind of looking around like, "Ooh, that one looks pretty. Oh, that looks good over there. Maybe I should." Nah. Keep moving forward, okay? Calling in the alignment position, I'm going to hold it upright, basically tells you to separate yourself from the stories that you told yourself. You're not the victim. You're the victor. You've made it this far. You've done these things. You've had these experiences. You face these challenges head on in your life. And even though they may have been brutal, even though you may have suffered, even though you may have gone through a lot, especially recently, they didn't break you, okay? Even if you feel broken down, you're still here, you're still whole, you're still healing. And that's really important for you to remember. Empower yourself through the experiences that you've had, because you have so much more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding because of what you've already gone through that will help you tackle what's coming for you in the future. And I'm not saying more of the same is happening in the future, but you'll be able to see things a lot more clearly. You are sharpening your discernment every time something difficult happens for you, every time you suffer, every time you struggle, every time you have a relationship that falls apart, every time a family member betrays you, every time a friend lies to you. All of these things that break our hearts and hurt us so deeply and make us and can influence feelings of victimhood in ourselves are actually meant to create a stronger version of us. But not a version of us that's jaded, just stronger, just more durable, more resilient. And I know a lot of people don't want to be resilient. A lot of people don't want to be one of the Lord's strongest soldiers, okay? A lot of people don't want that, and I understand that. But it's not about struggling and suffering for the rest of your life. It's just about learning the lessons now so that you can implement them later in your life, right? So separate yourself from this idea that you're a victim and that people owe you something or that you're entitled to something. You are so strong. You are so amazing. You are so fierce. And you can lay claim to the power that is like resting inside of you. It's like a little baby fire just waiting to you know, I sometimes it's hard for me to articulate when I'm, you know, kind of feeling very inspired or getting a lot of messages at once. But I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. It's time for you to not only take your power back, but to exercise the power that you have already inside of you. And not allowing yourself to believe that you can't or you won't or you're not strong enough. So these three flipped, and this one fell off the top. So Mary, she's the mother of miracles in this deck. Okay, so it's just a reminder to believe in miracles, that even something that you think couldn't happen for you can happen for you. It may not look like you thought it was going to look. It may not feel how you thought it was going to feel, but miracles are still happening around us every single day, and there's no reason why one cannot happen for you. Just the easiest top of my head example is if you do have a social media platform and you're wondering why none of your reels or shorts or whatever the case may be are going viral, right? It's a matter of time, I feel. This can happen for you if it's what you really want and if it's what you're willing to work towards. The universe is at play. There are things happening beyond your control that you have no idea about. So trust in the universe to bring the things that you desire to you, because miracles can happen. And they happen for each and every one of us. We also have Maya here. I'm going to go through these three really quickly because it's a lot. I only meant to pull three. Maya here talks about illusion. What illusion are you living under that's keeping you from living your best life? Is it that the person that you're with is your soulmate? Is it that the job that you have is your purpose on this earth? Is it that, you know, if you do certain things a certain way, then you are supposed to be guaranteed certain results? What are the illusions that you're living under that aren't helping you to grow, that aren't helping you? Are you living under the illusion that you are your best self and that there's no room for improvement, right? Because there's always room for improvement. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how amazing you are, how blessed you are. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to grow, okay? We also have Lakshmi here in the alignment position. She represents fortune. So when it's in the alignment position, it represents a lack or poverty mindset, okay? Some of us grew up and we didn't have a lot. Some of us grew up not seeing luxury or abundance around us. Some of us grew up in houses where the lights got turned off. Some of us grew up where we went to sleep hungry sometimes, where we went to sleep without heat in the house sometimes, where we didn't have enough or we couldn't afford new all the time. Some of us lived lives that encourage this idea that we can never get out from under, that we can never, do more than our family's done, or anything like that, but that's not true. And I feel like a lot of times the biggest thing that some of us who have grown up like that struggle with is this idea that you're entitled to more or that you deserve more, right? I feel like you're entitled to whatever you're willing to work for, okay? Whatever you are willing to do for yourself to create the life that you desire, that's what you deserve. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about having a private jet and all this and a private chef and going to the Bahamas every weekend. That's not even what I mean by like abundance and prosperity. When you have a lack of poverty mindset, sometimes you think that you don't deserve a better job, or that you don't deserve a better house, or you don't deserve a better car. Like even simple things, that you don't deserve to eat well and treat yourself well, that you don't deserve to look the way you want to look and feel how you want to feel. You can take little steps today. You can do little things today. Even if you have no money to spend on living some sort of extravagant lifestyle, find ways to add luxury to your life. I'll give you guys an example. The next purchase that I'm gonna make that's not in my budget is a towel warmer. Okay, you know how much that would change my life? I live in an older house that I'm currently renovating, and my heating bill is through the roof. So I keep my thermostat super low. If I got out of the shower to a warm towel, you know how that would make me feel? That I would feel luxurious in that moment. But I'm a very sensual person, so how things smell, how things look, how things feel are very important to me. So I use little things like that to create luxury and abundance in my life. So and I feel like that has also unlocked different levels of abundance coming towards me. If you guys understand what I'm saying. Because if you can't use what you already got to get what you want, to live the life that you want to live, then what are you going to do with extra stuff, right? If you don't already budget your money properly, if you're a spendthrift, what is that means? If you just spend your money on whatever, you don't budget, you don't save, you don't do anything, right? If you don't pay your bills on time, if you're living in financial chaos, what do you think is going to happen when you get more, right? You're not going to learn how to manage your money simply because you have more of it. They say lottery winners go broke within a year. Number one, because they forget to pay taxes, which is like half the winnings, right? And number two, because nobody ever taught them how to manage their money. And that's a huge deal. So it's not just about having the things, it's about learning how to manage them. So I think honestly, a lot of your lack of poverty mindset comes from poor management skills, and not just of money. Maybe poor time management, maybe mismanagement of like your lifestyle. Maybe you eat in a really disordered way, or you don't have any ways of like creating a home that you really enjoy. Find ways to create the life that you desire with what you already have. I promise you it'll change everything for you. We also have Yi, the sun goddess here. She came in the upright position. This talks about being confident, being bold, going into the world, not worried about who. The sun does not worry about who it burns or who it blinds, okay? The sun is just the sun. It comes out, it's shining, it's warm, it's life, it's abundance itself, right? So when you think about that, you have to adopt more qualities of the sun. It's not about being arrogant. It's not about, doing too much or even being narcissistic. It has nothing to do with that. It's about believing in what you bring to this world, believing in your voice, your purpose, your passion, and finding a way to share that with other people if you feel inclined to do so. But it's also something to be aware of with this card. Excuse me. It talks about how moths and all kinds of things are attracted to the same light. So you're going to find people who challenge your desire to shift into another timeline, right? By trying to pull you back down, trying to keep you stuck and stagnant, trying to keep you low vibe. You're going to find things and people around you who want to keep you where they are or where you've been. And you're going to have to choose to elevate regardless, okay? At the bottom of the deck, we got Nyx. This is the overall energy. Everything at the bottom of the deck when I'm done pulling is overall energy. We got Nyx here. She talks about secrets, but she also talks about things that you cannot see, okay? Specifically with this card, she's talking about the veils that will not part for you at this time, okay? And what that means is you won't be able to see it. Something I say a lot is I've been intuitive my entire life, and sometimes I would make a choice to do something just because I had already seen that I had done it. I don't know if you guys are going to understand what I'm saying. But here, like later in life, as I'm doing things that are more outside of what I would consider like a societal norm, or living my life, like I read tarot. You know, a lot of people still frown upon this kind of stuff and think it's, not good or whatever the case might be. I'm not going to go too much into that. But what I mean is like when I started reading tarot and making videos and doing even just other things in my life, I couldn't see it. Like I couldn't see what the end result was or what the end goal was going to be. I just couldn't see it. So then it makes me doubt, like, is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? But Nyx is here to remind us that sometimes the universe doesn't want you to see the whole picture, okay? Because they want you to enjoy creating it. If you knew exactly what was going to happen at the end of a new story that you've never read, it might make you feel less interested in reading the whole story. If you knew, if somebody spoiled all of the best episodes of every kind of show out there, right, you'd probably feel less inclined to watch it. If there's a movie with a big twist, like Sixth Sense, right, if somebody tells you the twist of that movie, you're probably like, no, I don't need to watch it now. And that's kind of how I feel about this. It's like Spirit is not showing you exactly what's going to happen for you and how your life is going to change, because they want you to be in the moment and enjoy creating it as you go. And once you are where you want to be, bottom of the deck, right? The hidden energy in the 9-card spread here with the Smith-Waite Tarot, the Queen of Pentacles. This is literally abundance, but this is also about the physical world, the feminine essence of the physical world. So we're talking about our physical body. We're talking about our physical the things that we have around us, like in our homes and things like that bring us comfort. This is also a very nurturing energy, a loving energy, very caring and domestic as well, but also very financially sound and stable. This is somebody who values what they have, they take care of what they have, and they know how to use what they have to create the life that they desire, which is exactly what I was just talking about. So tap into that Queen of Pentacles energy, right? Not only are you managing your money better, managing your time better, managing your life better, you're managing yourself better, you're prioritizing your health, your wellness, and your overall well-being, whatever that means for you. So this has been, I don't know how long already, but what I want to do now is clarify just a little bit, because I want to see what's going on with the Seven of Swords here. Let me clarify the Seven of Swords. This whole reading is really just about believing in what you have and believing in what you bring to the world. The Seven of Swords is clarified by the King of Wands here. This could represent a physical person in your life. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, masculine energy, fire sign energy, right? Really, I think that you're avoiding being your very unique, independent, march to the beat of your own drum self. The King of Wands doesn't wait for anybody else's validation or appreciation or approval. The King of Wands does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. He's about that action. He's not about talking. He's not about thinking about it. He's not about, theoretically in a perfect world, nah. The King of Wands is about that action. He's about getting things done, taking steps, feeling motivated and inspired. So it's almost like you're running away from anything that you feel like brings out this side of you that makes you feel like you're too much of an individual, or you're too different, or the beat of your drum is just too wild. Like you couldn't possibly fathom how it fits into this world. Maybe it's not supposed to. Maybe you're supposed to be like this beautiful kind of peacock, right? And peacocks are masculine. Maybe you're supposed to be the peacock in a world full of chickens, right? Maybe you're supposed to stand out and show people what's possible, what they can do if they put their mind to it, if they believe in themselves. Five of Pentacles just under the King of, at the bottom of the deck after clarifying the Seven of Swords. There's an issue here, like not only lack and poverty mindset, but also this idea that you'll be abandoned or forgotten or thrown away, or that people won't appreciate you. Stop focusing on other people. What you're here to do, it might involve a community, but you might be creating a community. You might be building a community with other people, and it might be based on a mutual desire to stand out, to be different, to live how you want to live. It's like living off grid or something. People still go, why would people want to do that? Why would you want to live off grid? Anytime I've met anybody who lives off grid, I'm so impressed, by the, you know, what they've chosen, but I'm also an incredibly open-minded person, so it's hard for me to imagine like being so close-minded and judgmental as much as a lot of people are out there. We got to stop worrying about what other people have to say about us all the time. It's, what are you going to do? You're going to wake up and be 80 years old and say, well, I'm so glad I lived my life according to other people's standards. I'm so glad I lived my life according to societal norms. As long as you're not hurting anybody else or yourself, because I love you and I don't ever want you to hurt yourself, then do what you want to do. Live how you want to live. Be who you want to be. And let that fire consume you, okay? Maybe sometimes you have a tendency to get obsessive about things if you put too much energy and thought towards them. But use that to your advantage, okay? If you know that about yourself, then you can use it. And when you feel yourself getting a little carried away, say, hey, reel it in, okay? I still have other things to do. I still have other priorities. I still have other obligations and responsibilities. Maybe when you get really excited about one project, the rest of the world falls away, so you're trying to avoid that from happening, right? We're coming into balance. We're practicing moderation. If you know that about yourself, you can see yourself doing it, or just become aware of yourself doing it while you're in, while you're in the midst of that energy, and say, hey, I need to reel it in. I still have other things I have to take care of. This one thing cannot become my entire life. I still have to go to work. I still have to take the kids to school. I still have to go grocery shopping, right? I do have a tendency, myself personally, to be very much a horse with blinders on. If I'm doing this right now, that's all I'm doing for 6 hours, not necessarily throwing the whole world away, but I hope you understand what I mean. It's not about doing it all right now, and it's not about being so afraid of your passion itself that you turn it off or you suppress it or you pretend like it doesn't exist. Can we clarify the 3 of Cups? We got the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, this is very much a card of personal success that you have gotten just from being independent and consistent and reliable, because Pentacles are very much grounded in the earth energy, right? So what are we doing? What are we practicing? How are we using our time? What are our habits that are contributing to our own personal success? If you have anything to do with social media, you will be successful. The venture will be lucrative. If your project involves other people or building a community or friendships or relationships of any kind, right? You might want to be a relationship coach, or you might want to become like a party planner. Whatever the case may be, if there is any kind of social aspect to what you want to do, you will be successful. We got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles basically sandwiching this Page of Pentacles. And I feel like he's turned away from the Ace of Pentacles, not because you're not going to be worried about your financial standing or your livelihood, but because you're going to be less concerned about whatever aspect of this involves money, okay? Focus on the passion, and the money will follow you, okay? The money, I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Focus on the passion, right? Because we got this is the bottom row. This is the Ace of Wands, Page of Pentacles. You see how this is kind of organized? Focus. This page is focused on this Ace of Wands. Focus on the passion. The money will follow, okay? I just wanted to show you guys that so y'all know what I'm saying. The money will follow. You might not have a lot right now. You might not have a huge following, or you might not have any idea of how you're going to fund your business or do the things that you need to do. But if you just focus on the aspects of what you're trying to do that you feel passionately about, and just do those things, do the things that are already within your control, and work on the other things that you need to get together, okay? I don't know what I was going to clarify, but the 7 of Wands and the Page of Swords came out, and I'm going to make this the final message of the reading here. If there's anything that you don't know, that you need to learn, a skill set that you need to have, or some sort of education or experience, go get it. Learn everything that you can. Google is free. There are so many free resources in this life, in this generation, in this era, that we have got to start taking more advantage of, okay? YouTube University is a real thing. I attend myself for home renovation, okay? And we're going to see how it turns out in a couple of months, okay? So listen to me. You can learn anything that you want to learn. The Page of Swords to me is somebody who's not only vigilant and aware and the watcher, right? It's somebody who can learn anything that they want to. They're versatile. They're very intelligent. The swords is a suit of knowledge, of thoughts, of wisdom, of clarity, of communication, right? So if you feel insecure in any of any area of your life. Bolster yourself with an education, bolster yourself with wisdom, with knowledge, with experience. Put the time, the effort, the energy into whatever you want to see grow, and I promise you it will. It's going to take all of you, okay? Not only to invest yourself in whatever it is that you're trying to grow, but it's like a whole thing. It's not just one project, right? It's how are you managing your time, your money, your lifestyle, and adding this project on top of it. And I know it sounds like a lot. I know it sounds overwhelming. And that's, like I said at the beginning of this reading, that's one of the things that we might use to keep ourselves from pushing ourselves and getting things done. But just remember, we're here for a good time, not a long time. And there's nothing that makes me feel better about who I am. There's nothing that fuels me with confidence more than getting things done, checking things off my list, being productive, and creating success in my life. And if you're the same way, let's get to it. Baby steps. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever kind of lifestyle you're trying to create, whatever success that you're trying to create in your own life, get started. Just start somewhere. Focus on the things that you love about it, that make your heart, light up, and everything else will fall into place, or you'll figure out how to do whatever else you need to know how to do to make yourself successful in any area of your life. Alright, you guys, this is what I have for you. I hope that this was helpful or enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.